am Emily from Harrisburg Library, and I am putting together a short little series on houseplant care for you all to watch and enjoy. I'm sure you have noticed that we love our houseplants at the library, and Mackenzie has cut a few so that people can pick them up and take them home to grow their own houseplants. We have given away spider plants, a Epischia variety of a violet, and then also some arrowhead clippings in the past couple of months. So I wanted to share some tips and care and ideas for a few basic houseplants that you can find, and they can bring you as much joy as they bring me. As you can tell, I have a little houseplant room. So first off, I wanted to share that I am not an expert. I have cultivated a lot of this knowledge from books, so I'm going to show you some of these books. I have a personal collection of some different books, How to Raise a Plant and Make It Love You Back. So this has some pretty simple general information about plants, how to make a plant love you, cultivating green space in your home and heart, my personal favorite, Killer Plants, Growing and Caring for Fly Traps, Pitcher Plants, and Other Deadly Flora by our local author, Molly Williams. Indoor Jungle, the Leaf Supply Guide to Creating Your Indoor Jungle. Plant Tribe, Living Happily Ever After with Plants, and also Leaf Supply, a guide to keeping happy houseplants. So these are all ones I own, and they are ones that you can request from the library or check out from us. Here's a couple of others that I myself requested from the library. My houseplant changed my life, and this one called Houseplants for All. So if you watch these and want to learn more about houseplants, please come and find us and we can get you these books. So I want to give a few general tips on keeping your houseplant. So this video I'm going to touch on lighting. So lighting is obviously very important because that is what your plant gets its life through. Light is life. So just generally thinking about houseplants, a lot of the houseplants we know are tropical. They originated at the bottom of the forest floor, and the light they received was dappled because it streamed through the tops of the trees, and that was some bright indirect light. So we have to think about creating that environment for our houseplants in our home. Now, when you are closer to a light source, that's going to be stronger for your plant. So right next to a window, great for cacti and succulents. You can get farther away with perhaps a pothos or a snake plant. So the good thing to do when thinking about getting a houseplant is scope out where you want to put it. Is it right next to a window? Can you create a little space like that? Do you have to scoot back from the window? Is it, what side is it? East, west, north, south? So check out the plant check out the area during the day. What's the sunlight doing? Check it out during the month. Check it out during the year. We know the sun changes its strength from winter, spring, summer, and fall. And it's also really wise to check the area out for drafts. Is it going to be really cold in that section during winter? You have to make up for that for your houseplant because it won't be very happy at that point. Now, when you buy care tags, when you buy houseplants, they're going to come with a care tag if you're lucky. And then you're going to read the care tag and you just say, what does this mean? So here's a few little tips on your care tags. So if it says low, moderate light, well, that can mean that it tolerates the shade, but it will thrive in a bright indirect light. Okay, what is bright indirect light? Bright indirect means the plant enjoys bright light, but think about putting a sheer curtain right there. If it's next to a window, can you hang a sheer curtain? That's going to filter the sunlight a little bit for that plant. And then finally, bright direct is going to be just that, bright and direct sunlight right on the plant. Okay, so you have care tag information, but what is your specific window? If you have a light coming through an eastern window in the morning, that's medium, obviously going to be bright, and it'll be warm, but it won't be hot light yet. So that's what the plants on this side of my room are. They are eastern window plants. The sun is rising in that direction, so it gives them sunlight in the morning, and it's nice and bright, but it does not burn the plants. If you have a window facing west as the sun goes down, it is a bright light that is much hotter. Think about the sun in the afternoon. It is much hotter. Now, I have one window in my house that is a west window. I keep a handful of plants there, but the problem is that window is covered by trees. So ding, 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 check out your window outside. Is it shaded by trees? Do you have a building directly next door? Do you have something hanging over your window? Is your window a little bit dirty? All those factors will affect the sunlight coming in. So in my western window, I have a few plants that can tolerate, I would say they are the bright and direct, because that window does get bright, but it is not direct light. So that is your western window. A southern facing window will receive the most intense sunlight throughout the day. So that one is great for putting plants like cacti and succulents right up next to the window. If it's your only option of a window, put a sheer curtain on it and you can grow more houseplants right there. Now lastly, that north facing window, it's unfortunately not a great window. It can really just support only your low light plants, like a spider plant, this pothos, snake plant. So that is a north facing window. You have options if all you have is a north facing window. There are some great LED grow lights that are going to be beneficial to your plants, but you have to have them on all day and they have to be pretty close to your plant. Let me show you my LED grow light here. So I have this plant stand, whoops, this plant light right here. Wow, I'm terrible at this. There it is. And I have two LED grow lights right in there. I don't know how great they are for the plant, but I use them every day and everything's okay over there. Now, a couple other things that will affect your plant. The leaves. Look at the leaves. Are they dusty? Well, that's going to affect the sunlight getting to the leaves and where it really needs it. So just take a cloth and wipe down your leaves. Shoot, sometimes you can even take them into your shower and just give your plant a quick little shower to get all the leaves at once. If you look at your plant and you notice that it is growing towards the light, that's okay. That's okay. Just every time you water it, give it a quarter of a turn so that it gets the light equally on all sides. But of course, if you have a succulent or a cactus that is really stretching towards your light and it's growing more stem with no leaves, you need more light for that cacti. It's stretching, it's not really growing. So you need a better light source for your cacti. I don't really try to grow cacti because I think they are difficult and they do need a really strong source of light. So on to the next bit. We talked about light, what you can see on care tags, what the windows in your area might be like, how you want to watch your windows throughout the day, the month, the year, and how to fix some of that. If you need curtains to tone down your south window, or you need LED lights to brighten up your north window. So I'm going to talk about a very, I think, simple houseplant today that you can generally find at a grocery store. I found that Walmart or Kroger. You can get them at Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards. But of course, if you have a local nursery in your area, check that out first and support your small businesses. So this first plant I'm going to talk about today is called Pothos, Devil's Ivy. They call it that nickname because this thing can grow. Check it out. This is a vining houseplant, obviously, and as you can tell, I have mine in a hanging pot. I just stuck the nursery pot into this empty hanging pot that I had, and so the first tip is when I take this to water it, I just take it to my shower, hang it, I pour a little bit in there, let it soak it up for a few minutes, and then pour a little bit out, a little bit more in there. A good tip on checking is stick your finger in. If the first couple of inches are dry, it needs to be watered. So I just generally, I'll touch more on watering in another video. The Pothos is a very easy house plant. It can survive in low light. I would not put it in direct sunlight because the sunlight will burn the leaves. But what's very cool is the more sunlight that it gets, the more dappled the leaves are going to get. This is a golden pothos, so that's why the leaves have the white markings on it. And it will be very obvious when this sucker is dry. It's going to droop. It's going to look very sad. So when it's warmer for your plants, you're going to water more often. When it's cooler, the plant won't dry out as quick, so you can stretch it out a little bit longer. Probably need to water this about once a week, cupful or two. It really just depends on how big your plant is. Bigger plant, you'll use more water. Let it run out the bottom and go hang it back up. I do hang this up as a vining plant, but you can let it trail along your walls, your bookcases, your staircases. It will look very beautiful like that. So let's see. If you give it more sunlight, it will grow these dappled spots more. Like I said, it can take that bright indirect, can survive in the low light. Just avoid harsh direct sunlight or use that sheer curtain. Now, occasionally you will find yellowed leaves on there. That's okay, it's nothing to worry about. Just pop them off. That way the plant no longer focuses energy on these leaves. It happens. So I can feel right now that my plant is kind of, it's not heavy, it's pretty weightless, so I need to water it after this. And one thing to know about Pothos too is that if you give it a trim, it's going to grow fuller. So giving a trim might be a little scary, but you can do that. Pothos are also a great plant to share with friends. Where's the end? So Pothos have these little brown nodes right here, N-O-D-E-S, nodes, and that's where you will trim on these nodes, and you can plant that directly in water. Plant that directly in water. Plant that directly in soil, or stick it in water to let it establish some roots before you stick it in soil. So you can tell that I've got roots going on here. You see the brown nodes that are growing some stuff there. I like to keep some of this in water all the time just because it's fun and it's just pretty to look at. It's a little decoration. So that is some small tips and tricks about your Pothos. Pothos has lots of different varieties. This one was the golden Pothos. It's the most basic plant and frequent plant that you will find in the grocery stores and chain box stores. I have a couple other varieties, and I'll be honest, I don't remember which is which. These are both, this is Enjoy, N-J-O-Y, and Marble Queen. I can't remember which is which, but you will see both of them have more white spotting on them than the golden Pothos did. The golden Pothos has more of yellow. These have white on them. I have had both of these. One of them for at least, I've had this one for almost 2 years and this one for almost a year. And they are extremely slow growers because of the amount of white on their leaves. It takes it that much longer to grow, but it's satisfying to watch them grow from small to large. So like I said, I don't exactly remember which is which, but these are gorgeous plants to have, and the care is that of the golden Pothos, and I occasionally do let them droop when I don't water them enough, and that's okay to let it droop, but don't let it happen too often because it will stress the plant out. So I like to keep a little notebook. That is, of course, a plant notebook, writing down the date that I water each plant. Here's this one. So the coloring is a little different on this one than the other two. Like I said, they take so much longer to grow because they have more white on them, but it is a very satisfying plant to have. So there's Golden Pothos, Pothos Enjoy, Marble Queen, Neon Pothos. So there's lots of varieties that you can find, and I think they make great houseplants. And also because they grow so, this one, the Golden Pothos, will grow so quickly. You will have such a large plant in a short amount of time, and it will bring you so much happiness and joy, I swear. They're just so much fun to look at and gauge all the time how they are growing. So that is the Golden Pothos and a few tips on lighting for your houseplants. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments or message us and we'll give it a try. So bye everyone, see you next time.